So one question, when you're trying to resolve your tracking errors, where do you start looking? So great question. We do have a brand new tracking error aging report that lets you triage and resolve the tracking errors. It's under patient management and then NYS tracking errors. By default, you'll be taken to the detail level view for only errors that happened in the most recent week. If you'd like to view something older, you can certainly pinpoint those using the aging report. The reason for that is if you focus on the more recent tracking errors, those are going to be the errors that are preventing your members from being on the enrollment file now. So if you're working with a member right now, you're nervous, you want to make sure that come December they're going to be on the enrollment file, check tracking errors that have happened recently. BTQ is handling many of the historical tracking errors as part of the STATES project. Of course, if there's anything that you're not sure about, you can always contact our help desk. Another question, do you have an easier way to share protected health information back and forth? Yes, we do have the My Documents feature now, which allows you to securely send and receive PHI with BTQ. So just so you know what it looks like, the aging report of the tracking errors that I was just talking about, it looks like this. It rolls up into quarters by default. You can break it out by months if you'd like to really pinpoint the most recent errors. So for example, this is saying there were 7 members who in November, BTQ submitted them for tracking and MAP came back and said they did not make it onto the enrollment file because another health home was working with them and submitted them to their enrollment file first. That's what overlapping segment means in MAP speak. So that's just one example of how you can use this report to triage the issues that are preventing members from being enrolled right now and potentially in December.
Hello, it's Ed again. So one question, one thing I want to point out is, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you say, maybe I don't remember where a specific report was, or I want a high-level overview of everything, I just want to point out this health home summary report. Kind of is one-stop shopping to give you a high-level overview of everything going on. And each one of the categories actually has a link that will take you to the detail. So that is under Billing Reports, Health Home Summary. And it is kind of very high-level, everything you could probably want to know. Billed and paid each week, how much is coming in, AR summary that we went over in very concise format, and then it'll break out for you who the top 10 MCOs that owe me money and how old is it. So you can see here our buddy Fidelis from before, top of the list, over 120 days, $25,000. It will, for the health homes, will give a CMA breakout. It gives you your denial breakout that we talked about, and then gives you a high-level overview of the issues, things that cannot be billed. How many of your total patients are not eligible? It gives you 115 out of the 1,199 here. How many missed claims do I have? 1,116, I have 8. I better go into my missed claims report and see what those are and see if there's anything I can do to get those fixed. Lastly, a very quick overview of the enrollment status. How many patients are on the enrollment file every month? And how many of those did I bill? What is that in dollars, and how many dollars did I actually bill? It's kind of a very good high-level report that allows you to troubleshoot and really indicate where you need to spend more of your time and energy in getting things corrected.
So we have another question. How can I be alerted if there's an issue? We will be sending out alerts via email of any issues. For example, how many members have tracking errors in the current month, how many members are ineligible, etc. So you can expect those coming down the pipe. Okay, some more questions. Is the HML information in BTQ for my agency right now, even though as a legacy we have done our billing directly? Yes. So BTQ has been submitting your tracking information and your HML information this whole time since it went live in April. It is required, even by direct billers, starting with the service date of April 2016, for all enrolled members. It's also required for outreach members, but you don't need to do anything for that because BTQ already has all the information that the state is asking for the outreach members. Another question. In HML, what happens if the care manager makes a mistake and checks off wrong answer for direct biller? Does BTQ know we are direct billers? Yes, we know you're direct billers, and therefore we sort of, you won't be penalized if the wrong answer is inputted into the HML. We'll always send MAP the right answer, and that question is going away effective December because everybody will effectively be a non-direct biller billing through the health home. Another question, what if the HML is coming up as NA, even though you've answered the questions? If the HML says NA, well actually it used to say NA when they were in outreach, meaning you don't have to worry about it. Now I think it actually says something else. It doesn't say NA, it says, I'll just show it right here. We just updated this. But that means the members in outreach is the answer. Therefore, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, it'll just say submitted if either we have it or if it was an outreach member. So it'll say submitted for all outreach members. It used to say NA. We have been told we now need documentation to support all answers in the HML. What do you know about this? It's true, you do need to answer all of the questions in the HML assessment, and that has to get, if you're using the BTQ portal as your primary system of entry, the answers have to get entered into the BTQ portal. You can do this manually, you can do this via our batch upload, the HML import file. If you're using another system, it's got to get into that other system so that they can send it to us. As a direct biller, should we change the direct biller response to no when completing the HML for core service dates in December? So BTQ knows who is a direct biller, and the state is just going to ignore that question completely in December, so you don't need to do anything special there.
Hello, two quick billing questions. We get a lot of questions about the community mental health assessments and BTQ's involvement in that. Currently, there is actually no billing that takes place in the current state workflow by BTQ. The assessments are uploaded to the state, and again, you must have the correct health home for that actual visit, or it will significantly delay the process. BTQ does have a part to play here, though. We do have access to the UAS portal for each of the health homes. We download that file and then use the information to follow up with the MCOs and make sure that you get paid and get paid as quickly as possible. Another billing question based on the AR report, we're getting asked what is our current experience collection-wise and percentage-wise. Our current target overall is 92% over 120 days. However, that takes into account that there's a lot of MCO billing and also takes into account that there's a significant amount of denials for paid to another health home. For Medicaid and MLTCs, we are collecting between 95 and 98%, but there is, again, especially with the Medicaid ones currently, a lot of paid to another provider denials. So that is our current experience, and we expect to obviously keep that performance going.
Okay, more questions are coming in. My question pertains to enrolled patients that are in MAP that have an assigned health home name, but the assigned CMA name is missing. Is there anything for us to do on our end as a CMA? No. This was actually one of the bright idea topics in a recent week, so I'm glad you asked that. When with missing HMLs, there are a breakdown of the category, for example, pending versus enrolled. So HML is not required for members who are in an outreach status. It's only required for enrolled members. So if it says missing, they're enrolled. Where do you get HARP status from? We get it from MAP. Another question, what should I do before I start working with a bottom-up member? Make sure that you check that they're Medicaid eligible and health home eligible, and check them in MAP to make sure that they're not receiving services from another health home. Does CMART affect billing? Short answer, no, but if the state does not believe that your CMART data matches your billing data to their satisfaction, that will be an issue. So just for comparison, it's unlike the enrollment file, which if they're not on the enrollment file, we cannot even bill. The billing and the enrollment file go hand in hand, whereas the billing and the CMART aren't tied to each other in that strict way by the state. But of course, it is supposed to match, and you certainly don't want to be, you don't want to have the state asking you, why is the CMART so different from your billing? And we know that that is something that they check.
We have a quick question asking about the MCO billing come April. What we do know thus far is that the MCOs will not need to be billing to Medicaid, and that it will be based on a capitation system. It's expected that the MCOs will get several months in advance and will need to use the next few months to properly set up their systems so that they can use that cash advance and their new systems to turn around money, much more quickly. They're talking about within 14 days, potentially. So we're really hoping that that's what occurs over the next few months. We will be keeping a close eye on that, and we will send along updates as we get them. Hello, we have a question about the paid to another provider denial. Currently, that along with eligibility denials are our biggest source of unpaid claims. The question is in regards to the state paying some of these back. We have been involved for a long time in hearing the state state that after MAP go live, they would, look at how they can reimburse some of these, especially being that it's based on the direct indirect biller issues. We don't have an update except that the state did advise there should be some announcement in the next few months. Not to be pessimistic, but we've heard that before. This time it was stated it would be December or January, so we're hoping that that actually comes to fruition, and whatever level of reimbursement they're going to announce, we certainly will keep you informed as it happens.
Okay, another pair of questions. Does BTQ submit acuity scores to MAP? No, we pull the acuity scores from MAP, although those are going away in December. Everything will be based on the HML rate. Although certainly if the state approached us to calculate those, maybe we would think about it. And then the other question is, how can I keep up with changes to the BTQ portal? We do have release notes that go out by email. You can also read all of those in the FAQ. There's a section specific to the release notes and it has all the release notes in it. And you can just go through those and quickly understand what has changed so that you don't get caught off guard. Another question, I want to prepare for Medicaid recertifications before the Medicaid's eligibility lapses. Is there a way to do that? Yes, we pull the prospective future Medicaid eligibility end date from MAP every day. So the way to see that is similar to how you see the high, medium, low category. You download the patient list enhanced roster. So that's, you click download CSV on the patient list, you click enhanced roster, have one open already, and this column is right over here to the right of the HML one. It's got the Medicaid eligibility end date. So if it's 9999 or blank, there isn't one. We pulled it from MAP and there wasn't one. So you can see whose Medicaid eligibility is running out this month or next month or in the next 3 months or however you like. It's all in there and we're pulling it from MAP.
One quick thing for the direct billers, we got the question from one agency, so I'm assuming it may pertain to many. The Health Home Program has a temporary exception where you can bill Medicaid claims after the 90 days. We just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. If you put the 3 modifier on it, it will get paid between 90 days and 2 years. We don't know when that's going to expire, but there will be an announcement before it does. So if you have any claims, you're going back and sweeping and billing before December go live, and they're all within 90 days, just make sure you include that 3 modifier on it.
My EHR has some glitches in it that result in errors when they send data to the BTQ portal. Are they working on those glitches? Yes. Anytime there's data, if you use another system that doesn't make it into the BTQ portal correctly or completely, you can be sure that BTQ and the health home and the EHR are working to resolve those. That's not something that you're responsible for. We are a children's provider. Will you be supporting children's health homes? Yes, we are contracted with some health homes that were designated to serve children, so we will be.
All right, so it looks like all the questions are finished. We're going to let you all go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you all very soon. Let's all get ready. December is going to be a fun, crazy month. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.